This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability for educational and non-commercial use only.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ben Frelka. I'm an undergrad, soon to be no longer a student in about a month, and this is Tomas. So Tomas and I took a look at the Scottsdale Green Building Program and then also solar voltaics. So thank you for coming in, and we're excited to show you what we found. So basically, just to kind of talk about the purpose of everything, we want to look at the Green Building Program. The Green Building Program, it's either voluntary or mandatory depending on the standards. There's a bunch of initiatives going on in Scottsdale that are very impressive and are looked at around the nation. And then Tomas will talk further about the rooftop solar program as we get further into it. So our research method, basically what we did is we went through all the literature that you've published about various initiatives in Scottsdale, and we compiled it into one source, basically to give an overview, because it really is an excellent case study for a lot of different places throughout the nation. And then we also looked at a lot of academic journals, just because what those pretty much did is they took all the case studies, identified the best practices, and it really streamlined the research process for us. And something similar was done for the rooftop solar, which Tomas will get further. So just a little bit of background. Really, the Green Building Program in Scottsdale is exemplary. Throughout the different research topics that we were looking at, it was cited as a great program. I mean, it's very old in comparison to a lot of them. It was one of the first 5 in the nation. So that was pretty awesome to see. So what we did is we wanted to see what exactly about this program made it so successful, and how can we apply that to similar green building programs, and what was really the value that came out of implementing all this. So just a quick history overview. It was officially established in 1998, though, Anthony, I'm sure you know there were things going on before that. Basically, the rating criteria was based on the characteristics of the Sonoran bioregion. So what about the Southwest was necessary? What were the unique characteristics of the region? It integrated with the city's existing development process to help with the building permits, reviews, inspections. Really, what was cool is how it worked with the existing processes. And then it addressed things like site use, energy, building materials, indoor air quality, solid waste, and all this was kind of overseen by the Green Building Advisory Committee. And today, it's also incorporating aspects of LEED and the IGCC. So the benefits of this program for a developer, above all, is it expedites the planning and reviewing process. So not only are you getting the sustainability benefits out of it, but you are moving considerably faster through the process. So at one point in 2005, half of all single-family residents were going through this process. Some other benefits that a builder had when they went through this is it differentiated them in the market. So not only were they necessarily a good developer, but they also had these green initiatives going on, which is really something that adds to their brand. And then also it increased their public involvement and their community immersion, because through the program there's quite a bit of education that's going on. And so as a developer got involved with that, he was also able to immerse himself further into the Scottsdale community. So as we were looking into it, we wanted to see what were these success attributes. So what were some of the things that we could apply from other case studies that made this so successful. So this is Going Beyond Code. This was written by the Southwestern Energy Efficiency Project. And it looks specifically at Scottsdale as well as a few other states in the Southwest. Basically saying, if you're interested in starting a green building program, what are the key things that you need to do in order to make it successful? So to just quickly run through them, the 6 keys to success that they identified are clear goals, community-wide assessment and planning, stakeholders were needed to be involved in the decision process, effective implementation and integration, incentives, and communication and partnerships. And really, the reason I highlighted incentives is as we were going through the program, that was something that really stood out as the best part of the program, because not only are you getting sustainability benefits from it, are you implementing these great practices, but really it's beneficial to a builder because he can go through the permitting process faster. And really that was what I saw as something that really created a lot of value. And in the early 2000s, when there was a lot of economic development very fast, it was very appealing to go through and have this expedited review process. So currently, where is it at, and how will that impact the future? It's currently been scaled down due to economic downturn, budget cuts in the city, things like that. So one of the reports that we looked at was called Towards Advanced Solutions for Achieving Sustainability Goals in Buildings, Lessons Learned from Case Studies. So this was put together by the American Society of Civil Engineers. And what they did is they took a look at 45 big green building projects and going around the nation. And they basically went through all of them in detail and highlighted what was the keys to success in every single one of these. So we wanted to compare how did those apply to the green building program in Scottsdale. So the first one that they identified was the largest impact falls on the planning and doing phases. The second is the integrated design and stakeholder collaboration are key. And 3, success is based on acquisition and accumulation of knowledge. So as you look through the history of this program being developed, you can see that it grew very organically, and it had different stages at which that it was doing its job in these senses. And really, something that it was really essential to the report, when it talks about sustainability, sustainability is something new that people are still kind of learning our way through, we're still really feeling. So looking at case studies is one of the best ways to go about learning best practices and figuring out the best ways for the future. And really that's where we see quite a bit of value coming from the green building program, because it has done a lot and it is an excellent thing to look at, especially in the Southwest region. So through it there has been tangible progress. Scottsdale was one of the first communities to mandate LEED in all public buildings in 2005, and then now the IGCC is their standards have become central. They're not yet mandatory, but they are increasing the standard. So as I mentioned before, it's a benchmark and a case study for others to look at. It's already really widespread as you look through a lot of the literature. It is very well known, and it's something that can continue to be done. So I think as you look through it, it really has accomplished its goals. Even as it's been scaled down for one reason or another, it's still very effective in teaching us the lessons that we need to know, and is still around to this day. And if you look at the national trends for green building programs, they're increasing really, really fast. So Scottsdale was one of the first ones to do it, one of the first 5, and really it kind of set the groundwork for future success. Now Tomas is going to go deeper into detail about solar voltaics.
I'd like to start with the heavy slides first. So this is the cost structure of an installed residential system, a pretty simple one and rather standard one. Everything about the cost of equipment, which is the panels, the inverters, and all the cabling, is called the balance of service. If you see, that's 60% of the cost of installation. The soft part